It rapidly flows back and forth, and it requires your full focus moment to moment. If you're planning on what you're going to say next, checking your phone, thinking about something else, you are almost certain to miss the nonverbal cues and not fully understand the subtleties of what is being communicated. As well as being fully present, you can improve how you communicate nonverbally by learning two things. Learn to manage stress in the moment and develop your emotional awareness. Learn to manage stress in the moment and develop your emotional awareness. Think about how you react. Try to control those reactions. Even if something will initially make you angry, try not to get so angry over it, right? You're not going to be able to control all of your expressions, especially if it's something that's going to make you angry, but you can control it, okay? Pay attention to inconsistencies when you're reading other people's body language. Nonverbal communication reinforces what is being said. So is the person saying one thing, but their body language is conveying something else? For example, are they saying the word yes while shaking their head no? Look at nonverbal communication signals as a group. Don't read too much into a single gesture or a nonverbal cue. Consider that all of the signals you are receiving come together, right? From eye contact, tone of voice, body language. All together, you have to come up with these cues and say, are they being consistent or inconsistent with the words that they're actually saying? And trust your instincts. Don't dismiss your gut feelings. If you get the sense that someone isn't being honest or that something isn't adding up, you may be picking up on a mismatch between verbal and nonverbal cues. So definitely trust your instincts. So let's evaluate the nonverbal signals, right? Eye contact. Is a person making eye contact? If so, is it overly intense or is it just right? Right? You know, it's always, eye contact is a weird thing. When you're looking at someone and you're talking with someone, you need to have enough contact. Let me say this, if you're talking to more than one person, you should be having eye contact with every person in the room. If there's 2 people, 5 people, it doesn't matter. If you're speaking to a group, always make eye contact with everyone. Don't just focus on one person. It's going to be weird. It'll be weird for that person. It'll be weird for the group, and it's weird for you. So eye contact is super important when it comes to communication. Facial expressions. What is their face showing? Is it mask-like, unexpressive, or is it emotionally present and filled with interest? You can tell when someone is just kind of gazing at you, right? If you're talking to them, or if you're gazing at someone while they're talking to you, or are you actually engaged in the conversation? Are you listening to them? Don't have that blank stare on your face. And if someone has a blank stare on their face when you're talking to them, change what you're talking about. Get them interested again. Tone of voice. Does the person's voice project warmth, confidence, or interest? Or is it strained and blocked? Right? When you're calling people, let's say that you want to tell them about a new listing that you have. You're not going to call them up and say, oh, I have this new listing on 123 Main Street. I thought you'd really like it. Are they going to be interested at all in that listing? Hell no. You want to call them up. Your tone of voice is a big thing. You're going to call them up and be like, oh my God, Johnny, I saw this house. It is perfect for you. I can't wait to show it to you. Are you available on Sunday? It's a 2-family, just like you wanted, in Sheepshead Bay. I can't wait to take you there. You guys, 4:00 Sunday, they're available. You guys really need to come. That person is to be like, oh my God, I want to see this house. Yes, I need to see it. As opposed to the other way, if your tone of voice is not excited. Posture and gesture. Is the person's body relaxed or stiff and immobile? Are their shoulders tense and raised, or are they relaxed? Touch. Is there any physical contact? Is it appropriate to the situation? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Touch is a weird thing. Be very careful with that. Intensity. Does the person seem flat, cool, or disinterested, or over the top and melodramatic, right? Be very careful with your intensity, because you don't want to seem too, over the top when you're talking to someone. And then timing and place. Is there an easy flow of information back and forth? Do the nonverbal responses come too quickly, too slowly? I feel like, this is whether or not the conversation is being forced. If a conversation is being forced, then it may not just be working out. And you can tell. Trust your instincts, like we talked about just a few seconds ago. Trust your instincts. If something feels like it's being forced, it most likely is. So be very careful. And then sounds. Do you hear sounds that indicate interest, caring, or concern from the person? Let's say you were talking to them and they were like, oh, yeah, oh my gosh, oh, wow, oh, okay. That is all interesting sounds. Or is someone just like, that doesn't seem very interested. So sounds are super important too. So make a confident impression. So here are your key points. These can help you adjust your body language so that you can make a great impression. Have an open posture, be relaxed, don't slouch, sit up or stand upright, place your hands by your side. Avoid standing with your hands on your hips. That will make you appear larger, which could communicate aggression or desire to dominate. Use a firm handshake, but don't get carried away. You don't want to become awkward or, hurt the other person. If it does, you'll come across as rude or aggressive. Maintain good eye contact. Try to hold the other person's gaze for a few seconds at a time, and this will show the person that you're sincere and engaged. But like I said before, don't turn it into a staring match. You're not going to weird the person out by staring at them too long. And avoid touching your face. There's a common perception that people who touch their faces while answering questions are being dishonest. So try to avoid touching your face. While this isn't always true, it's best to avoid fiddling with your hair or touching your mouth or nose, particularly if your aim is to come across as trustworthy. So let's look at some negative body language, right? So here's some folded arms, tense facial expression, the body is turned away, right? The guy's looking at his watch, poor eye contact. The other one, the guy's looking in the sky, right? And then that tense facial expression on the bottom, the girl has her hand over her mouth and she's really tensely looking at them. And then we go to positive body language. So you have that open body position, right? The arms are not folded. The hands are on the table together, or the hands are at the side. Upright posture, relaxed, open facial expression. They're both smiling, and regular eye contact. So these are the differences in your body language. Again, super, super important. Body language is super important when you are dealing with people. And in the real estate business, that is what you do. You deal with people. And let me say this too, because in the world we're in today where you Zoom, you can see people's body language over Zoom as well. Absolutely 100%. So don't think that just because you're not actually physically in person with the other party, they can still sense everything, and you can still sense everything with those nonverbal communication cues. So be aware, work on it, and also be aware of your surroundings. All right? Thank you so much.